From Galileo's dialogue concerning the two chief world systems, Ptolemaic and Copernican, 1632. This is an example of the kind of argument by which Galileo endeavoured to refute the doctrine of Aristotle given in the preceding extract. Salviati gives Galileo's views, and Simplicio is an Aristotelian. Salviati. I consider the upward motion of heavy bodies due to received impetus to be just as natural as their downward motion dependent upon gravity. Simplicio. This I shall never admit, because the latter has a natural and perpetual internal principle, while the former has a finite and constrained external one. Salviati. If you flinch from conceding to me that the principles of motion of heavy bodies downward and upward are equally internal and natural, what would you do if I were to tell you that they may be also one and the same? Simplicio. I leave it to you to judge. Salviati. Rather, I want you to be the judge. Tell me, do you believe that contradictory internal principles can reside in the same natural body? Simplicio. Absolutely not. Salviati. What would you consider to be the natural intrinsic tendencies of earth, lead, and gold, and in brief of all very heavy materials? That is, towards what motion do you believe that their internal principle draws them? Simplicio. Motion towards the centre of heavy things, that is, to the centre of the universe and of the earth, whither they would be conducted if not impeded. Salviati. So that if the terrestrial globe were pierced by a hole which passed through its centre, a cannonball dropped through this and moved by its natural and intrinsic principle would be taken to the centre, and all this motion would be spontaneously made and by an intrinsical principle. Is that right? Simplicio. I take that to be certain. Salviati. But having arrived at the centre, is it your belief that it would pass on beyond, or that it would immediately stop its motion then? Simplicio. I think it would keep on going a long way. Salviati. Now wouldn't this motion beyond the centre be upward, and according to what you have said, preternatural and constrained? But upon what other principle will you make it depend, other than the very one which has brought the ball to the centre, and which you have already called intrinsic and natural? Simplicio. I believe there are answers to all these objections, though for the moment I do not remember them.